Shalom. Why Milchiks, milk for dairy products on Shavuot? Well, first of all, how far back does it go? Does it go back to Sinai? Well, as late as the Shulchan Aruch, which is in the 1500s, written by a Sephardic Jew, Joseph Caro, the main code of Jewish law, it doesn't mention it in the section on Shavuot. Now, Moses Isserlis, who's the Ashkenazic commentator, the Ramah, who gives us the gloss about Ashkenazic practices on Shavuot, does mention it, but then he says that the practice was to eat milchiks and then later have a fleishik feast. So at least as late as the Shulchan Aruch and after, we don't have the custom of only dairy on Shavuot. But nevertheless, that's our custom today. And why? Well, I'll give you 7 different reasons that the tradition gives. Number one, the old story about how when the Jewish people were getting the Torah on Mount Sinai, they got the laws of kashrut, and their fleishik utensils then were unsuitable because they didn't have the laws prior. They didn't know how to do it properly. And since that, they needed koshering, so they didn't do it on the spot, so it's easier to eat milchiks. Number 2, Torah is likened to milk, as the Song of Songs says, like honey and milk lies under your tongue. So just as milk has the ability to sustain the human body, so Torah provides spiritual nourishment. Number 3, this is mystical, the gematria. If you take the word chalav, chet lamed bet, which is the word for milk, that equals 40. Chet is 8, lamed is 30, bet is 2, that's 40. And that would remind us of the 40 days and nights that Moses spent on Mount Sinai. Number 4, it's another gematria. One of the names for Sinai was Har Givatayim, which means the mountain of majestic peaks. Now the Hebrew word for cheese is gevina, which sounds a lot like givnunim. And the gematria of gevina is 70, which responds to the 70 faces of Torah. Okay, so that's number 4. Number 5, from the Zohar, the Jewish mystical text. Now, every day of the year has a corresponding negative commandment, according to Maimonides. He lists 365 negative commandments, 248 positive. So, which mitzvah corresponds to the day of Shavuot, according to the Zohar? It's the prohibition of cooking a kid in the mother's milk. So one should eat separate meals, one dairy and one meat, taking care not to mix the two. Right, number 6, Moses was rescued from the Nile, according to tradition, on the 6th of Sivan, which is Shavuot. And he wouldn't suckle the Egyptian wet nurse, so in the end, he was suckled by his own mother. So in commemoration of that, we have dairy on this special day. And finally, there are scholars who relate the practice of dairy foods on Shavuot to the biblical phrase, Eretz Zavat Chalav Udvash, a land flowing with milk and honey. Okay, so we have all these different reasons why, according to tradition, it's customary, at least in the last few hundred years, perhaps, to eat Shavuot only on dairy only on Shavuot.